So unfortunately, cybercriminals are always coming up with pretty ingenious, new and creative ways to steal our money by any which way that they can gain access to our personal information. You hear us talking about information all the time, and then they use that to commit another fraudulent crime and generally get hold of your cash. SABRIC CEO Kalyani Pillay is in studio to discuss email compromise and how we can protect ourselves. When we use the term hacked emails, are we actually getting that right? Or how is that the email-related crime playing out these days?
So what's happening, Graham, it's actually not a hack. It's actually your email that's been compromised. So your password is so important when it comes to your email account, right? So you got your logon username and you've got your password. And that's one of the reasons why people are always encouraged to make sure that you have a password that's set, that's not easy for somebody to guess. Yeah. And you have to remember that these cyber criminals will harvest information from wherever they can to get to know you well enough to see if they can start to figure out what your password is. I mean, that's not the only way. But what happens with the compromise is that they're getting access to this information, so the username and the password, and they get into these mailboxes. And what they're doing, so we get different kinds of email compromise. You get the one where just individual people are compromised. You get others where businesses' email compromises happen. And there, what happens is that the more senior person in a company that has high levels of authorization, they get in to those mailboxes. They then communicate, you know, even if it's an ordinary person, they communicate to people that are on your contacts. The mail comes from your account. So the person receiving it believes that it's you that's sending this mail.
They just respond.
And of course they use that to try and solicit. At the end of the day, what do they want? They want money. So they'd either give instructions, if it's a business email compromise, to somebody in the company who's authorized to. Yes, and that's why I think the important thing, especially for businesses, is to make sure that the company's policies and processes are in place, that you actually take this into account, and your risk mitigation should be make sure that you don't just act on the email, that you actually have other processes involved where you actually get to speak to the person yourself to verify that this is an instruction.
When money's involved,
you have to. It could cripple small businesses,
sure.
you know. But even for individuals, you know, if the criminal gets access to your email box, they're able to read all your emails, they're able to know, okay, so this is where you're going to be, that's what you're going to be doing.
It's so difficult because what are those telltale signs that maybe you have been compromised?
So you need to, for one, go through your sent items. You need to see if there are any items in your sent item list that you actually have not sent out those emails. The other thing is look to see if you're receiving any notification that mails have bounced. Also look to see if you're getting complaints that there's spam coming from your email address. You know, these are little things that you need to start saying, gosh, something is going wrong. And you need to then go to somebody who has technical advice, or even go into your settings yourself to see if any of the settings have been altered. And obviously you need to delete all of that and have your account completely reset up. Change your password regularly. Don't keep the same password. And again, it's advice that's given to people. Make sure that you should have more than 6 digits in your password.
Mix it up a little bit if you can.
Capitals, small letters, numbers, symbols. But it should never be easy for somebody to guess. And keep a separate email account to do transactions or to communicate where you're just going on the web, or you're sending, when you're putting it down as a reference, if you're entering
for
some
loyalty,
competition or what.
Don't
keep the same email address where you do your serious business. You know, you have separate accounts.
Oh, that makes me feel safer. Or I'm actually going to do that right now. Is there a way that you can be more protected from a software sense, or a way that we can operate in that space technically that can protect you? Is it all in our hands?
I think it's just really about making sure that you take your password, very, very important. Again, remember, seriously, you need to have a password that's not easy to guess. Again, the usual things about how criminals get access to information. Don't click on links on emails. Don't respond to emails that ask you for personal information. Don't respond to anybody over the telephone that asks you for information. Don't click on a link on your phone that says if there's a free coffee for you to have at a place.
Well, now the new thing is airtime. It seems to be the latest mode.
So don't click on any of those things. Yeah.
Auto-saving passwords. On devices,
never,
for instance?
Never. You should never, ever. It is a big no-no. Don't ever let that password be saved, ever. You've got to put it in yourself each time.
Thank you so much. This has been very, very enlightening.
Good.
And it's not just victims, it's all of us that are kind of, in the danger zone, so to speak. Unfortunately, these crimes are a reality. I'm sure there are a lot of people relating to us right now who've experienced this. Don't be one of them. And it's all around us every single day. So spread the information as well. Help protect other people. So next week, Kalyani is going to be joining us to talk about money laundering and how we can avoid being fooled into these types of scams, because that as well is happening to a lot more people than you'd expect.
We are brave, innovative, everywhere. We are SABRIC.